Looks like our Protoss player is going to be getting Blink as well and a Twilight Council inside his base. Where is that Twilight Council? There it is. Twilight Council researching Blink, right on halfway done at this point, and weapons level 2 as well for our Protoss. So he is going to be a little bit ahead in terms of attacks, but he has not gotten any armor upgrades, while our Terran player is researching that armor level 1, just now getting that underway. So our Protoss player is getting a little bit more offensive with his upgrades, while our Terran is keeping them even. We'll see which strategy proves to be more effective here in the long run, as this command center is approaching near completion at the gold expansion for our Terran player. Meanwhile, this third expansion for our Protoss player has been up for a while, so he's definitely going to be enjoying a nice mineral advantage until this gold expansion is able to get up and running. As meanwhile, the Protoss player is just about to finish Blink. Will he be getting charged right after this is finished? Where is his army? Does he have a number of Zealots? Looks like he does have a pretty healthy number of 4 Zealots, so really not that many. Maybe he will forego charge, but of course there's really not much else for a Twilight Council to do, and he will indeed get charged. Not sure why I got so caught up on that. At any rate, this fortress, or this command center rather, will be turning into a planetary fortress up here, trying to make sure that gold expansion is nice and well defended. Holding that will be essential to Jimmy, because if he loses that, he will be losing a very large portion of his income. Let's take a look at that tab once again with that gold expansion up and running inside Jimmy's third base. They are right around even in the mineral cats, maybe a little bit of an advantage for our Protoss player, but he does have a 14 harvester advantage as well. So definitely that favors Ddoro at this point in the game. Jimmy once again falling a little bit behind in terms of macro, and he's really not doing much with this army, just sitting it in the middle around that watchtower, allowing him to see this area, but I mean, they're not doing much else besides that. This is once again a lot of Vikings. That is a dozen Vikings in the air, ready to shoot down these Colossi. There are 7 Colossi in the field right now, so that is a good choice, getting a lot of Vikings to make sure those Colossi don't get out of hand. This Protoss Death Ball will be testing itself on these rocks right here, and those rocks never stood a chance, going the way of most things against the Protoss Death Ball. They will be destroyed pretty rapidly, as ghosts are now going to be made inside our Terran player's base, so that's going to be very effective against this clumped up Death Ball. If he gets some clutch EMPs, all of these shields will go bye-bye, and that will spell disaster potentially for Ddoro, so he'll have to watch out for that, as this is a very tightly clumped Death Ball, which is basically any ghost with energy's wet dream trying to EMP. All of those will make that ghost very happy. Will he be able to do so? We'll have to wait and see, as Ddoro is taking this gold expansion, so he will once again be 1 expansion ahead of his Terran opponent. Dark Shrine and High Templar Archives going up for our Protoss as well. I guess this is Templar Archives. And he has that armor level 1 just now started, with weapons level 3 being researched as well. Weapons level 2 on the way, along with weapons level 1 for those Vikings up in the air. Jimmy really likes those Vikings and really doesn't like those Colossi. Actually going to be covering his ghost with these Vikings, so maybe Ddoro won't see that ghost. He is really tightly clumped. Will the EMPs go off? We'll have to wait and see, as there is a large engagement. That EMP does get the front portion of this army, so Ddoro realizes that he is in some serious trouble, as EMPs will take out the majority of those front unit shields. And here comes the incredibly massive engagement. Stalkers blinking to the back after taking some damage. Very nice micro right there, as he just made sure those Stalkers weren't taken out despite the clutch EMP from that one ghost. And here comes another engagement right outside the gold expansion of our Protoss player. Zealots up in the front, trying to chop everything up. Not any force fields being used right now, as EMP is going to be used once again. And here we go. These Marauders are having a nice line and trying to repel this Protoss army. Will they be able to do it? Looks like they will. Take that one pylon out, and they will have a clear path to the gold expansion. So looks like this gold expansion is in some serious danger for Ddoro. This one probe happily mining gas, completely oblivious to the fact that the Nexus is about to go down, getting one last drip of gas right there. So good job on that probe. Here comes the Protoss ball once again. Will they be able to do some damage? Nope, the Terran army will decide to pull out of there, realizing that the damage has been done, content with sniping that expansion one time, slowing it down and allowing this gold expansion to get more underway for our Terran player. And the ball will be chasing the Terran army, able to snipe a couple of the stragglers, but then turning tail and running back home, as it looks like another factory was constructed and is going to be a scout once again, because of course that factory doesn't serve much purpose in this build order. Looks like these players are really close to maxed out again. So that's one big class, was just the first of a couple of more to come. DTs mixed in this army. Very nice play right there by Ddoro, but of course he will have to watch out for EMPs, as they will reveal the DTs if they are aimed right on top of them. So it's on Jimmy to use those ghosts as effectively as possible. This factory going the way of the first factory, being sniped a little bit, but here comes the large engagement, a scan going up. Nice game sense right there. Will take out those DTs with relative ease, as now it's just a concave of stalkers that Jimmy has to worry about. This is very much superior position for our Protoss player, as he has a nice line while these Marauders are kind of just bunched up. Will be blinking in there, going for the kill, as it looks like Ddoro sensing some weakness right there, getting a little bloodthirsty, but unfortunately, he did not come out ahead in that engagement. Looks like Ddoro will be losing the resources lost battle by about 5,000, so Jimmy is doing much better in this game than he did in the previous one, able to take those series of engagements pretty handily, as now a couple of DTs will be coming in here. Will they be able to do a lot of damage? If Jimmy is paying attention, he will know that a DT is chopping up his Marauders. That EMP does go off and reveal it, so very, very nicely done right there by our Terran player, taking a 5th base up here as well, right around the 12 o'clock there. So he is going to be staying even or even a little bit ahead in terms of expansions right now if he's able to get that up and running, but unfortunately Ddoro already has this gold expansion, so I will assume that Ddoro is winning the Harvester battle. Yes, he is, by about 13 Harvesters, and that translates to about a 600 minerals per minute advantage right now for our Terran, or for our Protoss player rather. So Jimmy is still losing the macro battle, but doing very nice damage right there in the middle of the map, using superior micro, and just those EMPs were clutch, taking out all of those shields, which is a lot of the overall health in any Protoss unit, which is why EMP is so very effective in TVP. As weapons level 3 is being researched by our Terran player, looks like it's already done for our Protoss, getting armor level 2 as well. So these players will be getting those upgrades up, as it will be 3-1 once this finishes for our Terran player, and 3-2 once this finishes for our Protoss. So once again, Ddoro is going to be winning that upgrade battle by right around 1 upgrade per cycle. A few more ghosts are on the field, building up that energy to try to turn the tide of the battle when the next one does occur. 7 Vikings are now in the air, as a sensor tower is actually made by Jimmy, trying to get a better sense of when and where the Protoss army will be moving into his territory. A 5th base being taken by Ddoro as well at the 6 o'clock expansion. This base has been up and running for a while. This gold expansion is a little bit oversaturated at this point, but of course it's a gold expansion, so you might as well put a lot of probes there and make sure you get your money's worth, as it looks like this expansion up here is starting to get underway as well. A detector there with a missile turret just to make sure no DTs can blow him out by taking out a lot of his SCVs. But it looks like Ddoro not going to get too many more Dark Templars. This one just kind of holding the watchtower and staying there to provide some vision for his team back home. This death ball has been remustered up, and both these players are once again approaching maxed out. So another engagement is going to be happening in the very near future, I would assume. Which player will come out ahead? That next battle might be the deciding battle if it turns a little bit too heavily in one player's favor or the other. We'll have to wait and see, as probes are transferring to this 5th base down here, doing some long distance mining until the Nexus is warped in. So these probes will have a long way to go before they can finally get back to that Nexus and do some honest mining, as personal cloaking for those ghosts is being researched there inside the Terran player's base. And meanwhile, Psystorm being researched for our Protoss player, as Psystorm is going to be very effective against this clump of Marines and Marauders on the ground, and now ghosts as well, of course. It'll be that battle of feedback versus EMP between those High Templars and the Ghosts, to kind of a who can do it first, who can get that upper hand. And another engagement will be happening at the Protoss player's front door. EMP is hitting the majority of that Protoss unit shields. That will be disastrous potentially, and it looks like a large engagement will be happening. Those Vikings charging in there trying to take out the Colossus, but they are right over the entirety of this Protoss death ball. That might have been a poor idea in retrospect, as now the Marines and Marauders are going to be trapped here, trying to make a stand, but they might just be overwhelmed despite the loss of those shields due to EMPs, and it looks like the Protoss player will win that battle very handily, blinking in just to pick off a few more of the stragglers. This probe is very, very bloodthirsty, trying to contribute to the fighting as well. That might have just evened up the resource loss tab, yes, just a little bit, as it's almost even at this point, right around a 1.3k difference. These Marauders will once again turn around for a last stand to throw up that APM tab to give this battle a little bit more of an atmosphere, as these Marines and Marauders are just going to be cleared apart, torn apart rather, and cleaned up, and Archon even being warped in from those High Templars that were out of energy. Colossi still raining down destruction, and once again we see Ddoro use his death ball to very, very nice effect, forcing Jimmy to GG out of this game and out of this series, which Ddoro does take down 2 games to none. Congratulations to Ddoro. He will be moving on to the finals of this tournament, the SQS-WTR1BE June Masters Tournament, and he will be guaranteed at least some money from that $200 prize pool. So very well done in game number 2 and in this entire series as a whole, of course, by our Protoss player Ddoro. Jimmy will be in that third place game. So now I will be casting the other semifinals, and then of course the finals between Ddoro and the winner of that other semis. And then I think I'll cast the third place match as well, just to see if Jimmy is able to bounce back from this series and secure that third place finish. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that series, and I will see you guys in the other semifinals.